Okay, so today we're going to talk about a sutta called Phusati Sutta. Phusati. Now, this p is aspirated. Anyone knows about aspirated and non-aspirated consonants in the language? Now, in Pali language, as well as in Sinhala language, we know Alpa Prana and Mahaprana. Let's say Namo Tassa Bhagavatu. People say Bhagavatu, but Bhagavatu. So there is an aspirated consonant. If you don't pronounce properly, then that particular word doesn't come out. So what happens before a aspirated consonant is that you bring in a breath, sort of a breath to articulate that particular word. Let's say Karaniya Matta Kusalena Yantang Santam Padam Abhi Samecha Sakku Ujuja Sujucha Suchocha Samudu Antimani, one of the stanzas from Sutta. So you may not find this is a very big deal, but for someone who knows Pali language, this is going to be a problem. That's why we have to study non-aspirated consonants and aspirated consonants. So like in this sutta, Phusati has Mahaprana, which you call aspirated consonant. Phusati. What is Phusati? Touch. So it touches. The translation is it touches. But I have given the bigger topic as maturity of karma. This sutta deals with karma, but in a very different way. Now, a lot of people think karma results in a similar way to everybody. Let's say we all meditated today. We all involved in discussion today, Dhamma discussion today, Sutta discussion today. But if we think that we all getting the same result, karma vipaka, from the same thing, I don't think that is Buddhist. That is un-Buddhist. That is why Buddha says karma is not linear. Karma is not linear means everybody who is involved with the same good karma or bad karma does not get the results of those karma in the same way. That is what we call karma is not non-linear actually, or not. So this sutta talks about one aspect of that karma. Okay, let's take a look. And one of the very important aspects of karma is a lot of people talk about karma. But they don't talk about the result of karma, which is called vipaka or phala. It's called karma vipaka or karma phala. Because every karma leads to a karma vipaka or karma phala. I mean, you might not know what these words are, but karma, what is karma in Buddhist teaching? Because karma is not new to Buddhist teachings. Karma was a term used by the Hindu people, like in ancient India, as an action. But what is the Buddhist interpretation of karma, definition of karma? Chetanaham bhikkhave kammang vada. Chetayitva kammang karoti kayena vachaya manasa. So then, every intentional action, thought, word is a karma. Let's say if you are non-intentional, please be honest to you. I mean, people can say, I did that, but I was not intentional. So it's kind of a very big deal, deep inside of you know whether you did it intentional or not intentional, unintentional. I think in the law, they ask, did you do by knowing this particular rule or the thing? Or did you do it without being conscious of the rule? There are different consequences. If you had known the rule and then you broke it, it's a different scenario. If you hadn't known to the rule but you broke it, it's a different. I mean, in the law, I think in the jurisprudence they going for different punishments and penalties based on that intentional thing. Anyway, so Buddhist teachings deal with karma in an intentional perspective. Let's say if you were intentional, so then you produce a karma. Let's say if you are intentional now, that you know you are listening to me and you are engaging in a Dhamma, yes, you are producing karma every millisecond, every second. But what you produce is not karma. We call it karma vipaka or karma phala. But when scholars, non-scholars talk about this topic, they say everything is karma. So karma and karma phala and karma vipaka. Now these two stanzas, actually the first stanza was recited by a deity. Let's take a look. What does he present? Na pusantam pusaticha pusantancha tato puse tasma pusantam pusati appadut tappadosi nanti. Okay, what does it mean? It does not touch one who does not touch. Now in this case, let's say if someone is not involved in a karma, then there is no subsequent karma vipaka or result of that particular karma. Pusantancha tato puse, but then we'll touch the one who touched. Let's say if someone is executing a karma, yes, there's a result followed by, but don't know when, what time, how. They are irrelevant, because that's the issue with maturity. Let's talk about maturity after. How is a karma getting matured? Tasma pusantam pusati. Therefore, it touches the one who touches. Let's say if you are if you are doing a karma, yes, you are enjoying, whatever the results are called vipaka or phala attached to that. Appadutappadosi nanti. The one who wrongs an innocent person. Let's say, now, when someone is mean, bad to an innocent, good person, the consequences, karma phala or karma vipaka, rising from that particular activity is really worse. Let's say if someone is really mean to a good person, so there are really bad consequences. It doesn't mean that you can do bad things to bad people. Right? We should not go to them. But in theory, in the Buddhist teachings, if you are mean to a good person, you are going to, experience really bad results. Karma vipaka, karma phala. Now, this is what the Deva said, the deity said, and Buddha presents a different, very inclusive, very, concise version of that understanding in a different way. Actually, you find this verse in Dhammapada. Don't know which chapter you find it, right? But somewhere in Dhammapada, you can find this verse. Because Dhammapada is not a new book, right? Dhammapada, one of the books in the Khuddaka Nikaya, was, I think we talked about Dhammapada that day, remember? We were talking about different translations of Dhammapada. So this verse, the second verse, appears in Dhammapada. So Dhammapada is a book which was made out of the other suttas. A lot of times, the book has a lot of other stanzas from other suttas. That's why we tell people you can't say it is in Khuddaka Nikaya, so it may have come late. No, these stanzas were compiled from the sutta, other main Nikayas, Diga, Majjhima, Samyutta, Anguttara. Anyway, what was the stanza? Buddha said in response to the Deva stanza. Yo appa duttassa narassa dussati. If one wrongs an innocent person, someone is mean to a good person. Suddhassa posassa ananganassa. So Suddha is pure, ananganassa, unblemished, immaculate, right? Immaculate, unblemished person, right? Yeah. You can't find any bad thing in that person. Tameva balang pacheti papam. Sukumo rajo pativatancha kitto. So if someone is really mean to an innocent good person, so the bad karma, which you call the karma vipaka, karma phala, that person creates by doing that harm to that good person is like this. The evil falls back on the fool himself, that fool, like fine dust thrown against the wind. Come back to the person, right? So if you are mean to a really good person, then the consequences or results, karma vipaka, karma phala, they are really bad, because you were mean to a good person. Now, in good means in terms of executing, doing kusala activities, right? Now we have to talk about few aspects about the karma that we saw in the sutta. One aspect of karma that we can say is, now we have seen in the stories in the Buddhist literature, there were people who were mean to arahants. Who are the arahants? Those who attain nibbana. Now there was a monk called Pilindi Vacha, right? He was an arahant. He attained nibbana. But this monk had an issue. What was the issue he had? When he was talking to people, he was using a word called outcast. Now nobody knew why he was using the word called outcast. Outcast is a bad word in India, right? They had this, they still have the caste system, right?
That was in Nepal.
Vasala. Hey Vasala is using this word to call people. Nobody ever knew why he why he was using this particular word. One day, when he was asking a vendor, this man had a cart of I think some mangoes, I guess, and then he asked this man, "Hey outcast, Vasala, what do you have inside of this cart?" He was really upset about it. Nobody likes to get called like that, right? He said, "There's something different." I can't remember what he said, but he said something different in the card, because he was really upset about being called as an outcast. Because he lied to an arahant, his stuff inside the card became what he said to the monk, arahant. Let's say he said something, okay, in my card there are pumpkins, right? But really there are no pumpkins though. There are mangoes. But because he was really angry about why he was called as an outcast, he said, there are pumpkins inside my card. But what happened? The mangoes turned into pumpkins. And then he told another person the whole incident, and then they both went to see the Buddha, and then Buddha said, you need to apologize to the monk. He's an arahant. He uses this word called outcast when he is addressing people, not because he is really angry with your people, but he has been born in the Brahmana caste for long time in the samsara. Now Brahmins are the priestly class in Indian society. So this particular monk, even though he became an arahant, his sansaric habits, the habits that he had been having from the long samsara, has been maintaining. That was why in this life also he started calling people an outcast. So then what happened? The both of them approached the monk, said, we are really sorry of lying to you. We have mangoes inside the car. And then what happened? Pumpkins or whatever the thing that they told turned back to mangoes, right? So now we have to talk about why an arahant still maintains bad habits, some bad habits after becoming an arahant. What's the issue? The issue is when someone is becoming an ordinary arahant, what they only eradicate is the basic defilements, kilesas. Let's say lobha, dosa, moha, greed, hatred, delusion. But they are not in a position to eradicate habits that they've been carrying from the past. The only person who eradicates defilements plus habits is the Samma Sambuddha. That's why we call savasana. We call them vasana. Vasana means sansaric habits. These sansaric habits, sansara means sansaric cycle of rebecoming. We are rebecoming in Buddhism, right? We call it continuity without identity. So I'm Venerable Chandima, but when I die, and I mean, if you look at the sansara, you can call that. Venerable Chandima is rebecoming. So whatever the things that I've been doing, that I will be doing by that time, they all depend on, determine my future, lives. Anyway, so vasana. Now the good thing is, some sansaric habits that you've been carrying from the past lives are okay. Let's say there's a small guy, but they all go to the same class, they will study the same maths, but he might be emulating other students. But he studied the same thing from the same teacher. Why? He may have been a mathematician in the past lives. Who knows? Right? Now, for most of us, we became monks when we were very young. We were not thoroughly, deeply conscious of what's going on, right? Not many experiences in it, but we made that choice. But now we feel happy about that decision we made when we were really, I think, below, I guess, 15, 13 years old. But it happened. How it happened? Why it didn't happen to other young guys that we knew? It's a different incident, right? That's why I'm saying that we may have practiced this monk thing, being a bhikkhu, whatever thing in the previous lives, right? So there are in your lives also the things that you are doing, the the areas that you are really expert. They may not things that you may have only created in this life according to Buddhism. That's why we say do not decide someone's life just from this life. So this is a sansara. Sansara is flowing. We never know why some people are like this, why some people are like the other way around, right? So then, so we have to look at these different, aspects of karma. So now when you are mean to a good person, in this case, we talk about that monk peeling the vacha, arahant peeling the vacha, and then that vendor got the karma vipaka right away. There are a lot of other issues that other stories that we can see. But this does not underscore that, this does not say that you can be mean to a bad person. We should not be mean to anybody. But, when you are mean to a good person, you are getting the bad, whatever the bad consequences, more than when you are mean to a bad person. Okay, and the second thing is, what is maturity of karma? How are karmas getting mature? As I told you, we all do the same thing, but when they are resulting, when they need to be resulted, it has to be mature enough. Right? How this maturity happens? It's a very, debating topic in the Buddhist history. Nobody ever know how it is happening. Now, for example, in one of the suttas in the Majjhima Nikaya, we call it Maha Kamma Vibhanga, analysis of the greater karma. Buddha says there are 4 people who are rebecoming. So the first person is a good person, having done a lot of good things, but at the time of the death, he or she doesn't have the samma ditti, we call right view, and then going to be reborn in bad places, right? And the second person is a bad person who has been doing a lot of bad karma, but just before the death, at the time of the death, he or she is having samma ditti, which you call right view, and then going to be born in a good place. And the 2 other categories you know already, right? Who are they? The good people at the time of the death, they having samma ditti. Not they are having, they are onto samma ditti, they are practicing, they are maintaining their samma ditti, and then they are reborn in a good place. And the bad people, they've been doing a lot of bad karma. At the time of the death also they focus on their bad karma. So then michaditti, wrong view, and then they are going to be reborn in the bad place. Now the issue is the first 2 people. We never knew these things before. In normal Buddhist teachings, everybody says if you are doing good karma, you are heading to a good place. If you are in bad karma, you are heading to a bad place. But there's a challenge to that thought in this sutta. That's why Buddha says karma is not linear. When linear means when you say you have done this particular thing, then you should, in the normal Buddhist thought, as we heard from a lot of people, then there should be a guarantee that we all going to be reborn in a good place. But it's not the it's not the case in this sutta, in the Mahakama Vibhanga Sutta. Buddha says, if we don't maintain sammaditthi, then that will take us to a bad place. So sammaditthi is the issue. What is sammaditthi? Sammaditthi has 10 components. Believing in karma, and then treating your mom, treating your dad. There are other things too. So when you are into sammaditthi, then you are all set to go. I mean, when you die, then it guarantees your next birth. Okay, so that's why I'm saying karma is not linear. So then on one side, when your karma is mature, you can say you are going to be reborn like this or not. So it all depends on maintaining sammaditthi. Okay, so being mean to a bad person and a good person, and then the maturity of karma. So let's say, and what are the reasons behind the karma vipaka and karma phala going to be different to each of us? Let's say we do the same thing, but why some people are not getting the same thing that we are having? That's a very interesting topic. The reason is we don't know their mentality. We all sit down here, we all do things here, but we don't know what's the big mentality. And also we don't know whatever the other karmas they've been doing in the past. Now a lot of people ask, how come Angulimala became an arahant? Why he did not compensate for the karma he did? But people ask this question only by looking at this life. Because he's been doing a lot of good karma in the past life in order to be an arahant. But in this very last life, there was a bad choice he made. But it did not deter him from understanding Nibbana. So my understanding is, do not try to look at anyone just from this life. Maybe in this life they may be okay, maybe not. But try to see, you may not, every one of us can see other people's past life, but
the other way around too. Did all the good things and did bad things this life?
This life, yeah, maybe, yeah. That's the exact example of Angulimala, right? So that's why Buddha asks us to look at maturity concept. How is karma getting mature from a very broad perspective, not just confining, limiting us to this life. I think those are very important. So now you understand maturity of karma, and then being mean, good to people in your life. So we never supposed to be mean to anybody, but if you are mean to a good person, you are doubling, quadrupling your bad karma, which you call karma vipaka and karma phala. Next time when you talk about karma, try to separate out karma and its results to be karma phala and karma vipaka. But in the broader sense, people all call it karma, instant karma. I mean, that has been a buzzword nowadays. But anyway, try to separate out. Any questions?
When you do all the good things, and you mentioned that when we die, if we don't have sammaditthi, so how about these deaths? Like all of a sudden, they don't even know, maybe a good person or a bad person die like accidents, like I don't know, maybe bomb blast or something like that. They have no thoughts at all. They didn't even know they were dying. What happens then?
The thing is, like, we never know, the mentality of people. I mean, at the time of a death of anybody, either natural or accidental, that person, usually, in a kind of a perspective mindset. Let's say when there's a bomb explosion happens, but those people maybe, or one person or two people or a group of people, they may be in a certain mentality. We don't know what is that mentality like at that time. That's why Buddha says, try to be happy, calm and quiet, and then try to have good thoughts, which you call avyapada. What are the other thoughts? Anabhijja, non-greed, and then avyapada, non-destructive thoughts, and micca sammaditi all the time. Try to invest your thoughts in those three categories. Then whenever there's a natural death, or whenever you are into a coma, because you never know you are into coma, but you may be happy at least up to the last moment of becoming into that coma, that you were okay, right? So that's what we can say. But individually speaking, we never know what is really going on with everybody, but we can make sure that we are into those wholesome good thoughts. Then it's okay that it come at any time to us. Because the issue is not the thought, but the death. But a lot of people think the issue is the death, but issue is whether you are maintaining your wholesome thoughts. The death may come at any time. We never know. Any more questions? Think about it, right?
earlier, I can't remember. At the beginning, I had a question. Well, I have questions, but it's not about karma.
Yeah.
It's about something else.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Totally related. Every day, before we meditate, we do all these recitations.
Yeah.
What are the recitations? Like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The main reason why we recite stanzas is that we are offering items to the Buddha as a respect to the Buddha, because we going to meditate and we going to engage in a Dhamma discussion based on his teachings. So we showing our respect to him, because gratitude is the first virtue he taught us. Once he became the Buddha, he spent 7 special weeks. I think in the second week, right? In the second week, Animisa Lochana Puja, he was looking at, he was paying, he was grateful to the Bodhi tree, because it gave him a lot of shade, supporting his to balance out his understanding. So that's why we are doing that, and I think it's a good refreshment, preparatory thing for the meditation. If you just sit down right away, it's like you are into the challenging part. So let's do something, to sort of like, refreshen us, and then slowly we are going into that. The other thing is the 5 precepts before the offering. I don't know whether we had that conversation before. 5 precepts. So if you don't think that you are moral and virtuous, you can meditate. You think about, I lied to someone yesterday. Oh, that is going really bad in your mind. And then I hurt someone, and I don't know, whatever the bad things, because that's why we are renewing the 5 precepts every day. Not telling that people can do bad things, but in case they may have done something, then they are happy because they are, renewing their 5 precepts, so they are good to go into the next step called offering to Buddha and respecting, paying our gratitude to Buddha, because Buddha was grateful to the Bodhi tree, and we are grateful to his enlightenment, awakening to God. And then it's a good start. Okay, now we can meditate. I think I can give you a hand out or something about the stanzas, so you get take a look at what these stanzas are like. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, so let's share all the good karmas with the departed relatives and the deities. May all the departed relatives share in all these good karmas. May they be happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idam me ñāti nangotu sukita huntu ñāteyo. Idam me ñāti nangotu sukita huntu ñāteyo. Idam me ñāti nangotu sukita huntu ñāteyo. Let's share all the good karmas with the deities, devas, who protect and bless all of us. May the deities share in all these good karmas and protect and bless all of us. Monks, all of you, your friends, families, parents, and everybody here, and who couldn't come for different reasons. May you all be protected and blessed by the deities for good health, long life, and all the prosperity. May all the deities also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ettavatacha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavatacha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavatacha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha ca bummatta devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu loka sasanang. Akasattha ca bummatta devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu desanang. Akasattha ca bummatta devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu mam paranti. Finally, let's make a great wish. May all the good karmas we've been collecting so far help all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana siris nichang vadda pachayino chattaro dhamma vaddanti ayuvanno sukhang balam ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu. Let's bow down 3 times as a respect.